428 on YouTube.
Thanks, Crobat.
YouTube. And Crobat has asked us a question and it says, "Hey, for your question segment of your podcast, do you buy a board game based on the artwork or theme, or do you buy it based on how much how the game is played / the style of the game?"
If you
so like
answer
I would assume,
mechanics.
so when they say style of the game, I assume they mean like the mechanics of the game, like how it actually plays.
Can I start with this one first? So I'm holding Jewel for Middle Earth that we just spoke about. Damien, I believe you purchased this based off its Lord of the Rings game. However, I don't believe you purchased it on the art alone because you've played Seven Wonders Duel and you go, that's fantastic.
Yeah,
But he bought it.
I bought it.
But I do like Lord of the Rings.
I bought it because I like Lord of the Rings.
Well, look, this is
Fair enough.
This is a super interesting topic as well because we've talked about the idea of like in previous podcasts about the Kickstarters and why so many games at the moment are coming up with so many extras and look a specific way, and why, for example, things such as like artists such as like Ian O'Toole, for example, seem to be getting so much work and be doing so much stuff at the moment is because there is a specific design aesthetic that is super popular at the moment and people really enjoy looking at a specific thing. I have to say, specifically for me, however, I have never really bought a game based on how it looks. And to say there are some games that definitely I don't buy it based on artwork. I will buy based on theme. Hegemony is my big one that I always say. Like, it is a game that's an asymmetric,
It's a political game,
like a simulation. And so that for me is something where I'm like, that's a super interesting theme, something that would provide a unique experience. But the artwork in it is meh. I'm like, I'm not buying it for it looks good. I do know that, for example, like the new version of El Grande, for example, some people prefer the new style, and yes, it certainly has that cleaner look. But I'm a beige boy. I'm like, Damo is shaking his head like me. He's like, I prefer the first edition of El Grande over the second edition, and I know it looks basic. So for me, I've always bought based on mechanics and how the game plays. And I'm a kind of a bit like I'm a bit of a basic boy. I kind of really enjoy the old brown style of games.
I am also an educated buyer.
So
I like to research a game typically before I spend money on it, unless the game's like $20. Anything built above that, I will have a look to make sure it's the game I want. But in saying that, I did initially invest into Marvel Champions on the artwork.
Yes.
But then I bought more of it because the game was good.
Yeah, okay. So you're the opposite of me. You're potentially, sometimes I guess, you can buy into artwork.
Like I already knew based off conversations with people that it was a good game, but the art was like, oh yeah, I think this looks really interesting to me.
All right.
Yeah. I think I'm in a similar boat. I don't really buy games for the theme, so to speak. But I definitely think the artwork gets me interested in the first place. Like if I see it on the shelf and it's just a black box with white writing, I may not even look it up in the first place to see if it has reviews or like
Marshmallow. What the Marshmallow God,
that was
not doing that BGG search yet. You know what I mean? Like, but if I saw this box, that gets me the first step of the way, and then I would probably have a look online, see if there's reviews. I think another way that I typically buy games is we go to the fortnightly meetups. I try 3 or 4 games in a night. And then once I've played it, I'm like, okay, all right.
Speaking of, have you bought Scout yet? Because I think you've played it 2 weeks in a row now.
Scout's really good, yeah.
No, I have not bought Scout yet. I do enjoy that, though.
It's really good.
I didn't cheat the second time, so that's good.
But I
think you told me 4 times, you can't rearrange the cards. And I was like, I don't know what you said, man, but I got 7 in a row just to start off. Like,
I will say that I do think specifically that... From an artwork perspective, you are right that artwork will kind of bring you in a lot of the time. But it depends on really what you're after in the game. Like again, we play games, so if the game is not good, then we're not going to keep it based on just the artwork. But sorry, that was my point.
In saying that, like the game we reviewed a while ago, Spots, the roll and write, the theme and the art alone, like they're all Dalmatian dogs, and you're rolling dice that are white with black pips in it, and like. You had to roll a 1 on this dog's butt, and then you put the dice there, and you're like, "Oh, that's his bum." Like, it's hilarious, and the art makes that shine. And now I want that game just off the art.
My follow-up point here was that I was about to say as well is I was about to contradict myself a little bit because there is, again, we've talked about it, the whole idea of are you a collector, and there are board game collectors out there now who buy games basically based on these are pieces of artwork to them. Like, granted, they want to play them, but they will buy a game because it looks beautiful, and they will have a hard time getting rid of it because it looks beautiful.
And you get that a lot
on
on
your
your
shelf.
Kickstarters and things.
Yeah. See, I think I'm torn. I don't know how to honestly answer this one because
It's just the vibe.
it's just the vibe.
You're
the vibe,
both.
straight
You can
vibes.
be both. That's
Straight
okay.
vibe. Does it pass
Because,
the vibe
like,
check?
I've absolutely bought games purely because of the box. Like, so a really good example was Zaya. Okay.
Zaya. Yeah.
So Zaya Legends of the Drift System.
Can't wait to play that one day, by the way.
It's a fantastic game.
Mm.
I purely picked it up. So I went to go buy a game secondhand off someone one time. I went to their house to pick it up, and they said, "Oh, by the way, I'm selling other games. I'm about to list them." Zaya was on there, still in shrink, and I said, "That looks cool." I knew nothing about this game other than it was in space.
Yep.
And I will say certain themes will absolutely grab me, and it seemed like a good price, and so I grabbed it, got home, started playing.
Yeah.
It. Game's amazing. And it was
Zaya is basically just Twilight Imperium
No.
themed.
No.
Themed Dune, isn't it?
No,
No, it's
Zaya,
got nothing to do with it.
Zaya is a roll and move in space.
Yeah.
And
There's pirates, and you do smuggling missions.
I do-
Missions, the pirates. Yeah.
Right.
But
Well, then
so-
I'll definitely play it.
But in saying that as well, I have certainly purchased a number of games that look terrible, but I'd heard they were really good games.
Yeah.
So Concordia, which I spoke about recently, that is one. The artwork on that is
Yeah, I guess the cards are pretty bland.
the artwork is questionable at best. I appreciate they are trying to go for a theme. I get that, but still, the artwork's not amazing.
It's interesting too. Like sometimes the theme, while it doesn't look pretty, it's super functional. Like it's really easy to tell the cards apart. And
theme is different from art. For example, Lord of the Rings Duel is themed that's going to sell this game.
Yeah.
Not the art. The art is beautiful, but no one's going to... Like, if you take Lord of the Rings off and you just come across that in the board game, sure.
I'd probably
the
still
biggest
buy it.
example of this I can think of is Terraforming Mars, which is literally the theme is the terraforming of Mars and playing all the science and stuff. The artwork is completely stock image.
Half of it
is just stock images of dudes are just like, oh, look at
But sometimes, like, for either one, like the theme or the art, like it helps enhance the game. But I don't think it's ever the reason that it's never the defining reason that I purchased it.
I have purchased a game for the art alone.
Sin. No.
I did. Regicide.
Oh, but
I've not
that deck is amazing. Though.
So it's a game that you play with the standard 52 decks of cards, and it's just a card game. It's co-op. It's a fantastic game, but the art, I bought a deck just on the art because the idea is the kings, the queens, and the jacks are the bad villains, and you want to kill them using little companion D&D type characters that are all the other things. So I bought the deck of cards that just has different characters for each card. That was it. Okay. I bought that purely based off the art.
Simpsons has ruined me because every time that I hear Regicide, all I can think is, you have selected Regicide. If you know the name of the king or queen and you're about to be murdered, press 1. It just ruins me.
Actually, now I'm going to think of that every time I play Regicide.
So, look,
Regicide's fantastic.
Like I said, I'm kind of torn. I think in my case, it's true for me in both. Where I have bought games purely based on the art, and I have absolutely bought games purely because of the
like you know that you like that
the mechanics or I knew it'd be my sort of game. I mean, White Bash Cannonballs 1. It looks terrible. It's a cube rails game.
Okay.
It's a brown map, and you put bloody blue trains on it and stuff, and
Sidereal Confluence. For me, because I know I love auction, negotiation style games, even though it's stupid, doesn't look great, and it's like I bought the first edition one too. They've reprinted it in second edition because the iconology was a bit.
No. Age of Steam. The artwork on it is very, very good, but it's very simple. Look, it fits the theme, but there's not much going on.
Some colored hexes, a
That's
couple
all
train
it is.
tracks.
That's all it is. But the game is sensational.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, look,
it can go both ways.
I think
So I
think
think
in my
we've
case
got.
It is.
But the thing is, it's like buying a game for the art alone. Like you already knew about those games.
No, but I have, like I said, in the case of Zaya, in the case of
Duel for Middle Earth.
Duel for Middle Earth, I bought it purely because of the theme and artwork.
Yeah.
And then I had no idea what the game was.
Right.
Maybe my thing is that they just haven't brought out a theme that I feel attached to enough yet. Like if I saw some Squirtle stuff, I'm probably in, regardless of what the game is.
He's a Pokemon boy. That's who we've added to this podcast.
To be fair, if a Thundercats themed board game ever came out, I would 100% buy it. Just, I mean, except for the Simon miniatures one.
Do you want to show it off?
Yeah, no, I'll say it later.
Okay.
So Simon did release a Thundercats themed. I think it may have been a Zombicide. I don't know.
There actually is
I
a
just
really
went,
good
no.
Pokemon Battle Arena board game. That's quite good.
Like the TCG.
No, it's
thing,
not
or
TCG. It's an
different?
actual board game.
Yeah,
But,
okay.
I'll have to find out exactly which one that is.
All right. I think we're going to start to bring this one to a close, though. But in conclusion for our discussion topic, I think it's safe to say that Ralph can go both ways. Damien has a
He's a
short
bit of a
fuse
looker.
and will impulse buy it no matter what, so long as he thinks it's cool.
Like he tries because he knows
Joel
you can move
is
it on,
currently
right?
waiting for the right. Joel
Yeah,
is currently waiting for the right theme before he settles down and commits, and I'm just a flip flopper. Who knows what I'm going to be doing?
You can go both ways
I
as
can
well.
go both ways as well. I'm flip flop. I'm non-committal. I go back and forth on whichever one I think it is.
I don't think I want to dive into this any further.
I think we should get out of this one before we get going. Anyway, so that's going to bring it to the end of our episode. It's number 63. We did